Well, so straight on to the final of the men's coxed pairs with just 10 entries. The title going last year to the United States of America. So a pretty open-looking affair. And the medals, I would say, Dan, all up for grabs here.
Well, I think the Australians have the edge on technique and experience. They really are an extremely classy couple of athletes here. Gold medalist from the Olympics, gold medalists in the coxless 4. Here they are split into 2 pairs, and this pair here, I would have thought, although they started quite slowly, I'd have thought they're the guys to watch. At the moment, the Italians have gone out at first. A good aggressive initial burst. And these 2 men, though, are going to settle into their rhythm, settle into their stride, and I reckon they'll be the guys to watch.
So the green and gold in Australia, 3 from the bottom of your picture, but it is the Italians as we now get a look at the Germans. The man who's in the bow there, Sven Ueck, and the man setting the rhythm in front of him, Mark Kleinschmidt. Their coxswain, Felix Erdmann.
The German pair moving very nicely there, but already you can see how quickly the Australians have moved through the field, and they're now in front. So from a rather steady start, where they were about 5th, they've moved straight through in about 300 meters with that lovely loose long style. They've moved to take the lead as they come up to the 500 meters from the fast starting Italian pair.
The other crew that particularly interests me are the Americans, because they've only been together as a unit for just 3 weeks, and 3 days ago they changed round the positions in the boat. So that
I hope the cox is still in the coxswain seat.
The cox is still there.
But they're doing very well, actually. They're sitting there in 3rd place, and they're moving very well indeed. Strongman event, this, the cox pair. It's a tough event. You need big, hard, strong men. And the United States won this last year, coming with a really great run from the 1,000-meter mark. And this year, these 2 men here, well in the hunt for the medals.
Yes, but it's the Australians already beginning to show their class now, and they've taken a decisive lead at this early point in the race. Brett Hayman lying down there, he's pretty busy. He'll be at work as well in the cox 4, and he's got ambitions to prove himself worthy of coxing the Olympic 8 in Sydney. So he's got a long-range target as well.
Well, he couldn't do better than get in with these guys, because here you can see the class. You can just see these 2 men have been rowing together now for 5 or 6 years. They really know each other inside out, and there they are, long, rangy, tall men, 3/4 of a length up on Italy, and just moving away. There's nothing going to stop these two Australians from winning this medal.
Back to the Americans now. It's Kurt Borcherding on the right of your picture there. He works for Bloomberg Financial. Interestingly enough, he's also on the reserve as a forest firefighter.
Well, firefighting or not, it's raining, so they don't really need him. At the moment, he and his partner are moving very, very well, very powerfully. Only together for 3 weeks. Well, this is good rowing from the American pair.
His partner, Philip Henry, though, very useful oarsman, came out of the World Championship 8 from last year, the winning 8. So there is some pedigree there. But the Australians, the man on the right of your picture there in the bow there, that's Nicholas Green. He was the man who was really sick, and I suppose you could say it was as a result of his sickness that the awesome foursome weren't as great when it came to the trials.
Well, they're pretty great now, because they're leading this field by a length and a half, with Italy in a good, strong 2nd position, and the United States now having to hold off an attack from Argentina on the far side, the top of the picture there, and Greece, who were medalists last year.
Yes, the Greeks are a little disappointing. They were much more positive a year ago, but whatever it is, they don't seem to be able to go with the pace at all at the moment, and they are trailing. But the Australians now, with just under 750 metres to go, looking better and better and better, and it's a pleasure to watch them even in these conditions.
Well, the Australians generally, but this pair of athletes from the awesome foursome are great technicians. They really set a lot of store on rowing extremely well. They do nothing wrong, really. They put the blade where they want to put it, just drop it in, connect with the legs and open up. Here you've got a contrast in style, lots of leg drive, lots of power, hanging on, rating far higher than the Australian pair. They look the rate that they're doing. They're tough, hard, but they're not pretty. And you can see that they're hanging on to there by dint of aggressive rowing, whereas the Australians are just smoothing along, in control, looking 2 or 3 pips lower than the rating that they're doing, which is 36.5.
Well, at the moment, the Australians seemingly could win by as much as they want to win by. They really are comfortable, and the race is really on for silver and bronze medals. That's really where the focus now is.
Conditions are difficult. The water really is cut up again now, and it's quite difficult for the athletes. But the Australians are not going to be troubled because they're well in front. They've got quite a cushion. Italy has moved out to nearly a length into a secure silver medal position. But look how far out in front the Australians are. They really are enjoying this. And you can see the stroke man there. You can see James Tomkins really enjoying the way that he's rowing there. He's sitting there, just drawing back the finish, just sitting there, knowing he's got gold medal in his pocket. He hasn't got it. As long as he doesn't do anything wrong, he's going to be there on the top of the podium.
I can tell you now, the Germans, there they are, they're breathing on the Americans. Now, the Americans are closest to you in 3rd place, and the Germans are creeping ever closer. The other two on the far side, Argentina and Greece, I think their chances have gone now. Australia striding for the gold medal. Italy looks secure in silver, but the fascination now is whether this United States pair can just hold on. They've not got far to go now, and this is where they're being asked a big question by the Germans, by Sven Ueck and Mark Kleinschmidt, with Felix Erdmann calling out the plan and urging on his men. The coxswain, of course, can look in front, he can see what's happening, but they have to rely on him. We come to the line, Australia ease off to take the gold, Italy comfortable in silver, and the Americans just get there to get the bronze medal ahead of Germany, with Argentina ahead of a disappointing Greek crew. So virtually a pillar-to-post victory to give Australia its first gold of the regatta. The United States holding off Germany by just 16 hundredths. So will Nicholas and James on the left there, will they be part of the 2000 awesome foursome?